Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing my experience of using the Leica D-Lux 8. I rented it for a week for a vacation that I took down to the Alabama coast, down to Dauphin Island. So throughout this video, you're going to be seeing footage of me just kind of going about my week in Dauphin Island and Gulf Shores and using the D-Lux 8 to capture photos throughout the whole trip. Now, I could have easily taken my own camera on this trip, taken the Canon R6, taken the 24-70 with the 16mm, and possibly the 70-200 to kind of cover all the focal lengths that I might need on a trip like this. But I kind of wanted to try something new, just have one camera that would capture it all. And with the D-Lux 8, you get basically an equivalent of a 24-75mm lens. So when you turn it on, it protrudes out, as you can see, and then you have a little dial here that you can push one way or the other, and it will zoom in and it will zoom out to get the focal length that it's trying to get. Now, this is a 1.7 to a 2.8 lens, and this is not a full frame body. This is a CMOS, I think it's a 4/3. I'll put the details on the screen, specifics when it comes to the specs of this camera. I was looking at something nice and small that I could take on this trip and just kind of capture the whole family trip together down at Dauphin Island. Now you might be asking, what made you choose this camera? Really, it was just the availability and the idea of not having to rent a separate lens to take with the camera. This camera has the built-on lens. You can't get a different lens to use with it. And so I knew it'd be very easy to not have to overpack, and I can keep a small package in my little crossbody bag that I typically use when I go on trips like this. Also, another plus is the flash that comes with this camera. It just pops right into the hot shoe, and it's pretty easy to use. You can just make your adjustments in camera and the flash will kind of work it from there. It's a pretty straightforward camera, and I basically used it like a point and shoot. Not very often did I mess with the aperture ring and choose my aperture. I kind of just put it in auto and just let the camera decide for me. Now, there was times that I would find myself wanting to be in full control, and from there, that's when I messed with all the settings and made the adjustments for whatever I was trying to capture, which you will see in this video. Overall, I really loved working with the files in Lightroom. I did add a preset to all of the photos, a preset that I kind of liked and wanted to use to kind of keep all these pictures in the same color scheme and look. So anyways, with that said, we're going to jump into this trip and you're going to just see a bunch of footage and photos from this trip. All the footage from this video is shot with the Insta360 One RS or the Insta360 Go Mark 1. So here we go. We hit the road around 2 a.m., headed for Jackson, Mississippi, a long haul that would get us there around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Once we arrived, the plan was simple. Check out the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum, grab some barbecue, and just relax before we hit the road on day 2. The next morning, before getting back on the road, we had breakfast at Brent's Drugs, a spot with a rich history dating back to the 1940s, and even featured in the film The Help. Then it was time to hit the road again, this time for Dauphin Island. Compared to day one, the drive was easy, just 4 hours. Once we arrived, we unpacked, settled in, and took it slow. On the first full day on the island started the way it should. We stepped out the back door right onto the beach, we swam, soaked up the sun, and later took a drive to explore the island and catch the sunset. After dark, I gave astrophotography a shot with the Leica D-Lux 8. Definitely a learning curve using a compact camera I'm still getting used to, but I think I got a couple solid shots. The next day, we took the ferry from Fort Gaines to Fort Morgan. Probably a first for most of us. We spent most of the afternoon in Gulf Shores, Alabama, shopping and grabbing lunch as a family. We grabbed lunch at the Hangout. With the heat kicking in, we had no problem getting back early enough to catch the last ferry. The following morning, I was up with the sun around 6 a.m. I grabbed my Pentax 645, loaded it up with Kodak Gold, and took a walk down the beach. Shot a few rolls, ended up just sitting there watching the storm clouds roll in the distance. Once everyone was up, we all went swimming. Pretty much the daily routine. Later that day, while the ladies went shopping, I took a little solo trip around the island. I drove down some of the small neighborhoods and checked out the airport. It was pretty cool to see a variety of boats and home styles scattered around the island, and also see some Cessnas. On our final day, my wife and I carved out a little morning just for us. We started at Fort Gaines. A little history on Fort Gaines. It's a historic fort on Dauphin Island, Alabama. It was named for Edmund Pendleton Gaines, established in 1821, and is best known for its role in the Battle of Mobile Bay during the American Civil War. Then we headed across the street to the aquarium, and after that we wrapped things up the perfect way, on the beach at sunset. Looking back, the Leica D-Lux 8 made things super easy. It was small, portable, and never felt like a burden to carry. Compared to shooting sports with the Canon R6, this didn't feel like work. No lens to worry about, just grab and go. Honestly, I could see myself using something like this more in the future.